Hi everybody, it's time for Cooking with Miss Elva today. So today I'm going to make carnita gorditas. And I haven't made them in a really long time, so it's got to come back to me here. So we're going to start off with a piece of shoulder pork, and this is about 2 pounds. And then I've been putting my all seasoning meat seasoning on it, and this packet or this made up meat seasoning spices thing has onion powder, has salt, garlic powder, has pepper, has paprika, it has chili powder, thyme, all kinds of goody stuff on here. And so I just seasoned the whole pork up really nice, pat it down on there so it could stay on there. Now we're gonna go over to my crock pot and put it in the crock pot. And the crock pot in here, I put like a fourth of an onion chopped up. I'm gonna throw in the pork in here. We don't need to put any oil in there because this is pork and it's got enough fat on there, so it's gonna release its juices on there, and a nice flavoring with the onion on there. We're gonna set the crock pot on high, and it's gonna cook for about 3 hours until, basically until the pork is just shredding apart on it as you touch it. And that's it. Okay, so along with the gorditas, of course, we need some Mexican rice. So that's what I'll be doing next. I have pretty much all the ingredients here. In the pan here, I have some oil, about 2-3 tablespoons of oil. And first thing we're gonna do is that we are going to fry the rice here and let it brown until it's got a nice golden brown. So I heated up the oil first. Now I'm gonna cover the rice in oil. And you can see once it's covered with the oil, the rice is nice and shiny. And while this is cooking, I'll show you, I have all the spices in here that I put in, put in this container here. And what's in this container is some salt, pepper is in there. I put some ground cumin. I put tomato bouillon, chicken bouillon, and some parsley flakes in there as well. And so all those spices are in here ready to go once that's nice and brown. I also have a can of 8-ounce tomato sauce. And I use 2 cups of rice, and with every cup of rice, you put in 2 cups of water. So because I'm using 2 cups of rice, I have 4 cups of water in here. And while this is still browning, let's take a look at the pork here that we had here in the crock pot here. Looks good. You can see all the juices. All the juices that it made, and we didn't add any juices. It's still not very tender yet, so that's going to continue to cook, and that's been a couple of hours with that. Got to keep a close eye on your rice because it can start to burn very quickly. So anytime you walk away, remember that you need to come back to it because it'll burn. And you'll have to start all over again. Okay, so you can take a look and see how it's browning nice. And it doesn't have to be too brown. Golden brown, this is good enough here. So we're gonna go on to adding our tomato sauce and our water. 8 ounces of tomato sauce for 2 cups of rice. Want to get all the tomato sauce. cups of water. Give it a stir. And then we're gonna put in all our seasoning. A couple of chicken bouillon, couple of tomato bouillon, salt, a dash of pepper, ground cumin, and parsley flakes. Gonna give it a stir. And we're gonna wait till it starts boiling, which will be pretty quick because it was pretty hot when we put in the water. You always want to make sure that your pan is right in the center so that it is cooking evenly. Once you get a good boil on there, we're going to put a lid on there, close it up, lower the temperature, the fire, the flame, and then set a timer. And you can even try the broth with a spoon and see if it's good enough flavoring for you. Some like a little bit more flavor than others. It's to your liking. Okay, we got a boil going on there. Nice boil. So we're gonna put the lid on there, and I'm gonna bring down the fire to not quite medium, a little bit lower than medium. You wanna look at the flame there. And then I set a timer for 10 minutes. It's supposed to cook for 20 minutes, but what I do is that I set a timer for 10 minutes. And then what I do is I get a fork and I move it or stir it around just so that it cooks evenly, because it is a very wide pot. And sometimes it tends not to cook the outside of the rice as well. So I do a half-time stir there and then let it cook for another 10 minutes. So it'll be a total 20 minutes. So we'll come back to you in 10 minutes. Okay, so it's almost the 10 minutes. So I'm gonna open it up here. Open it up and get my fork and then just move it all around, rotate the rice around. You can still see that it has a lot of liquid on there. Okay, as soon as I move it on real quick, close it back up and set it for another 10 minutes and we should be good to go. Okay, so it's almost time. Timer's gonna go on, off I should say. And what we're going to do next is take off the lid of the rice. Looks beautiful. And I always fluff the rice once it's done, cooked evenly. Kind of move it around, fluff it up, and then I remove it from the fire so it doesn't continue to cook. Smells delicious. We're good to go for that later. So we're going to start with our gorditas now. And first we're going to start off with 3 cups of maseca. Here's a maseca flour there. It's out of its original packet. I put it into a bag, but that's what the maseca looks like. You can find it in the Hispanic section of the grocery store. Or I don't know if they have it in the regular where the all-purpose flour is, but that's what it looks like. So we have here 3 cups of maseca there, and this is makes about 9 gorditas. Okay, and then I'm gonna get some warm water going here. First we do the dry ingredients. The next thing is going to be 3/4 teaspoon of salt. Okay, and then we need baking powder. We're going to do 1.5 teaspoons. one. And a half. We get the 3 cups of warm water. Mix up the dry ingredients first. Next thing we're going to add is the wet ingredients, which is 3 cups of water and also some olive oil. It's going to be about 2.5 tablespoons of olive oil. Okay, we have that mixed up, and we're not going to put in all the 3 cups of water. What we're going to do is that we are going to put in about half of it first. Put it there in the middle. Two and a half tablespoons of olive oil. And I already washed my hands. You do need actually a bowl of water to handle the masa. It's easier to handle the masa when you have a bowl of water. You could start adding some more of the water. What you want your masa to look like is like sand, like wet sand. That consistency. Yeah. That's it. You hear Judy laughing in the background at me. She's mean. Coming together here. It smells good, actually. Almost like masa for tamales. The difference between gorditas and pupusas is, well, gorditas are Mexican and pupusas are from Salvadorian.
El Salvador.
From El Salvador. And the gorditas are stuffed, and the pupusas, the gorditas are stuffed after they're cooked, and the pupusas are stuffed before they get cooked. The gorditas are a little bit thicker. The pupusas are flatter. All right, we should get that. Okay, what we're gonna do next is that we're gonna put it into another bowl. I'm gonna put this into another bowl, and then we're gonna cover it up with some saran wrap and leave it covered up for about 10 minutes. And during those 10 minutes, then what we'll do is that we'll get going on the carnitas meat. Take a look at that. And the bowl of water here on the side, I guess it's for the masa, not for you to, for the masa if it's stuck on your fingers too much. But it looks like I'm good. So we'll put it into the bowl here. Sorry, Coda. Get some saran wrap. And that's going to stay covered up for about 10 minutes, so we'll leave that there. Okay, so now we're going to go to our meat. Check our carnitas out here, the crock pot. They should be ready. They're steaming. Meat is coming right off, so we're going to take it over to our cutting board here.
How many hours was that?
About 3 hours. Okay, we're gonna shred and cut up our carnitas. See how easy it just comes right off. And we're gonna try a piece of carnitas and see how it is with the seasoning. And we're gonna fry this up just a little bit in this pan here. I put a little oil there, just a little bit. Get our carnitas. Get a piece of carnitas, try it. Could use a little bit more seasoning. Smells so good. A pinch of salt, pinch of pepper. And I'm also gonna pull some of the onions out of the crock pot here that we put in here. And plug this. The onions there. put it into our pan here that's frying up the carnitas.
You know what's crazy is that crock pot has been in my family since before I met you.
Right, it's
That's
a
my mom's crock pot.
hand-me-down from Yoli. Okay, put our onions in here. Sauteing this, so we have about 1.5 minutes, and it'll be the 10 minutes of the masa that's been sitting.
Hold up, you can't have masa. Get down. Get down.
It's been 10 minutes and our masa is ready to go. Okay, and what we want to do is that we want to get like a baseball size I guess this is baseball size. And we're going to start to flatten it. Plain patty cakes. Round shape. Not too flat, not too fat. And if you notice that the edges are cracking, what they tell you to do is get some water, and I got rid of my water, but they get some water and put it on the edges of it. And I think I'm gonna fit like 2 of them in my pan. So I'm gonna do 2. More. I think that's what a baseball is. Flatten it on your hand. Play patty cakes. Flatten it down. They look about right. Okay, I have some oil here, and I have about what is it? Not too much oil because you don't want to drown it in. Get my spatula here. You don't want to drown it in oil. And we're going to put in the oil, and you're going to do about 3 to 4 minutes on each side. And we'll get back to you on the results after we turn it around in 3 or 4 minutes. And we'll turn it around and see what it looks like. Oh, nice and golden. And I have it on medium heat. And so we're gonna do another 4 minutes on this side. And here are the rest of them. As I was cooking there, I did the rest of them. I don't know, baseball size didn't give me 9. It gave me 8. So of course you can always double the recipe depending how many gorditas you're gonna make. So as soon as the 4 minutes are up, we'll come back. Time's up, and I would say it's more like 5 minutes on each side. I had to leave it in a little bit longer. As I did it longer, I added the next 2 over here. So we're gonna pull this one out, put it on a paper towel just to absorb some of the excess oil. I didn't use a whole lot of oil, so it's not very oily. And later on, Judy's gonna do an experiment, and she wants to do one in the air fryer to see how it comes out, so it won't be. So we're gonna cut right in the middle there, all the way around. And we're gonna cut not all the way back, because the gorditas, you stuff them. And you have to be careful what's right in the center so that it doesn't, ooh, look at that steam. So that it doesn't make holes on there. So you kind of have to eyeball it to get it medium. Here we have the all the ingredients. We have the carnitas here, ready to go. We have some beans. We have sour cream, salsa, chopped tomatoes. I wish I had some queso fresco. I would put queso fresco instead of the Mexican blend cheese, but we have to improvise. We have some lettuce here to put in there. So this is how you're gonna stuff them. First, you're gonna start off by putting some beans in here, and it's really hot. Beans there. I stuff them with carnitas. Well, I took out a little piece there. Stuff it with carnitas. This is going to be Rick's. He's going to experiment or be my guinea pig. Okay. Going to put some salsa in there for him, because he loves some salsa. Some tomatoes. Some lettuce, some cheese, and that piece came off. There you have a gordita. I'm going to put it on a plate here. Yum. Okay, come on over here and get some of the rice. Here's the rice. Okay, I'll take over the camera. You want to eat some?